It's fuel. Yeah, it's not getting fuel in. It's not getting the fuel, I think. Cheers anyway. God bless these VTRs, eh? Right, okay, so I've got this hooked up to this fuel can. I've got a tube here going to the vacuum port behind the fuel valve, and I'm going to test to see if the fuel valve is working just by sucking on this. So we got some fuel coming out there, and it suddenly stopped. So we're only getting bursts of fuel. I can hear some kind of bubbling going on. We'll try again. And then it stops. Everything else works spot on the bike. Feels like it's got plenty of torque. It wants to move, but it runs for so long and begins to cut out. Just like a bike that's running out of fuel. You leave it a few minutes, it'll fire up again. So getting a trickle out of this right hand side, on the left hand side. Nothing. Nothing. Right. Oh, got something there. Right, okay. So that's how to test if a fuel valve is working. It should draw fuel the moment I create a vacuum on this, but we're not. So the other thing we're going to be doing before we move on is we're going to flick the fuel cap open and see, and do this again. Okay. So we have a tank vacuum problem, a breather problem. So we're creating a vacuum in the tank. It's not allowing the fuel to draw through. So it instantly appears to me that we have what people call a vapor lock problem. Vapor lock. So what is happening is, as the fuel is getting drawn out of the tank, it's creating a vacuum inside the tank, not allowing the fuel to be drained. It's just like if you get a 5 litre petrol can, you tip it upside down fast, it's going to start coming out slower, as where when the tank starts to empty, it'll start flowing faster when there is an air gap there. So what can we do about that then? Well, it could be a blocked breather on the tank itself, or it could be a blocked fuel cap vent. Fuel caps have vents. Motocross bike, if you see dirt bikes, you'll see on the tank cap it's got a little plastic nozzle on the top of it, so that allows the pressure to release and we don't get vapor lock. It's a common problem in lots of bikes, especially carburetors. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip apart this fuel cap, try and find out where the culprit lies within it. Okay, so right here is the fuel cap, the problematic fuel cap. I'm looking at this, it appears to be okay. This rubber seal around here, it looks like it's swollen to me a little bit. It is dry, it feels like it's got some cracking on it, so what we're going to do is we need to get that seal out. It most likely will be destroyed when we pull this seal out, so we'll see if we can save it. Looking at this, when the cap is closed, obviously the pressure will be applied here when the cap is closed. It looks like this is definitely the gap where the pressure releases, but there's a plate under here, so I'm guessing there must be some kind of a hole behind that for it to get out. When that's closed, it looks like it'll create the seal. We'll try and get this off, like I said, work my way around it. Apologies if I'm covering everything up. Let's see what's inside here. If I find something, I will show it to you. That is solid under there, I can't see a gap. Must be a gap somewhere in this. Ah. That's interesting. Right. Okay, I found something. I'll be with you in a minute. So, showed you down here before. There's a plate under here. You can see it when I'm tapping on. That is moving. That is moving. Let's see if we can get it to move. And there's a gap in this plate. Here we go. You see there now. There it goes. The other side of it, there's a gap in that plate. I'm guessing that this plate has turned round. When we seal this tank cap, it creates vapor lock because it's not escaping. So it's got a tear there. I think I may have done that, but it feels dry. Feels ever so dry as that. It's lost its elasticity. This is the plate I was talking about, what moves around. Ah, right. It was round here. It was like that because it was beside these, I think. So, I think how this works is this sealing plate here. Oh, just a second. I'm guessing this rubber thing here, I'm guessing this is part of the tank seal. So I'm guessing this was part of that. And some of it is missing. It's all cracked and corroded. I don't know if you can buy a replacement part for one of these, but I do believe it looks like it may have been part of this, or it may have been just some kind of O-ring on its own. Right, there's bits of crap in there. So this ring here, it's got marks on it where it looks like it's like a clutch friction plate actually. You can see these square marks here, just like on a clutch plate, have made contact with this. And there's dirt and grime on there. So I think how this works, we have got ourselves a gap here. Perhaps we've got a gap there. And when the tank is closed tight, it crimps this together, but just like on the clutch disc, these gaps here allow the vent to happen. And then the vapour will then make its way around here and go to wherever it goes to. So let's dig a bit deeper in this. This one, I think I need the key. Need a key for that one just to... Oh, it's going to be awkward. Let's give it a try. This is giving me the feeling that this bike is not going to be running today. So I'm just locking that back up again so I can remove the key out of it. Right. Let's okay. So there's your filler cap housing there. So right, let's make this place look a bit prettier. Okay, so here we have another diaphragm, and that is where your vapour must vent out from. Doesn't feel as fragile as the other. Look at that. Full of crap. It looks like, if I'm right, it's like a little bit of a maze, so there is no hole in here. Nothing. That was blocked. It's there for something, but I'm still confused as to how the vapour gets out here. Does it come out of the lock? Because this is all sealed. And this part here is open. This part here is open. And this part here appears to be sealed, so there's somewhere. So we need to figure this out, find out how the gas has escaped from the cap, and then we can resolve the issue, because I don't see how they get into here and vent out through this path. Right, I'm going to scratch my head and come back to you. Right, after studying this long and hard, I've cleaned it out with some carburetor cleaner, so it's all clean. There's no more debris inside it. I just cannot find a way for the vapour to actually escape from this fuel cap at all. It's quite possible that this is a design flaw. I don't know. The bike's done 11,000 miles. I'm pretty sure it's got there without problems. It must have done. But I've looked all around this, and I just can't find a path for that vapour to escape from this tank. Let me get you closer. So the plan is to drill a hole straight through here, and if you have this same problem, you may be able to get away with drilling a hole in there and not having to remove this rubber seal. So if I drill a hole through there, that should allow for the vapour to enter here, go around this vent port all the way and exit the bike. Because this is facing down, you shouldn't get any water in there. That would be a good option. Now, with this seal inside it, which I've removed and butchered, hopefully you won't have to remove and butcher this. As you can see now, this seal in place, even if we had an air gap in there, this is closed. This whole area is closed off. So nothing can get in, nothing can get out. There's no holes in here. There are these channels here. There are these channels here, but nothing enters them from the inside. It's completely locked off. So how this works, I have no idea. No idea. Comments in the comments box, please, if you have more knowledge than I do on VTR field caps. So yeah, what we're going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in here, a tiny hole there, enough, and see if our problem goes away. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to drill a hole in there. So if you have this problem with your petrol cap, I'm not telling you to do this. It's advisable. I don't know. Please don't blame me if it makes a big mess. But I'm going to experiment with it anyway and see what happens. Get a tiny hole put in that. 1 mil. Oh yeah, that's going in. That's gone in. So no debris came on the inside of this when I drilled it, by the way. It's all on the outside, so that's a good thing if you do it. All the debris and the swarf should be on the external part. So we've now got our hole in there, you can see that. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get this back together and see what happens, eh? Everything else is clear. Now this tank seal here, that was obviously compromised and torn. So what I've done, just until I get my replacement cap, what I've done is I've put that back into place. The little plate that went on there, I put a few little blobs of fuel resistant silicone glue grease on there, just a couple of little jobs so it holds it in place. I've held it in place so the hole, like the vent slot, is here. But that works fine. Look, it compresses. It doesn't come out. It works fine. So emergency repair, you've got that just in case you decide to remove yours. But the thing is, now I've shown you how to modify this by drilling a little hole in it. Hopefully that works and doesn't cause any problems. If it does cause any problems, please pop a comment in the comments box on this video and let me know, let other people know. But as far as I can see, I've looked at, thought about it, I can't see any problems with that being there. Right, okay, fingers crossed, let's give this a try. The fuel cap is back together with our modification. Little press and it closes. I thought it wasn't going to close then. Vacuum pipe is rigged up. There's no leaks, nothing like that. I'm going to give this a drag and then see if fuel comes out. Now, when you do give this a tug, if you do suck on this, if you cover that hole up with your tongue, keep it closed up, then the fuel will continue to flow. It will only stop the vacuum when you release this. Okay, so here goes. That is bloody flowing fast. Look at that. Wow. Fuel cap is locked. Yeah. Right. Sorry, it might look a bit disgusting, isn't it? Right, okay, so the fuel cap is locked down. The slightest bit of vacuum that comes flooding out instantly. It's absolutely mental. That flows so good, so much better. So we'll start it again. Whoop, making a mess. Yeah, I'm more than pleased with that. That is spot on. Right, so I've not got the replacement fuel cap yet to repair this, but it all works fine. I've reassembled it. It does have my modified hole in there. Right, so this is it. It was covered up. I've had it out of the packaging, so I've removed the protective packaging. Obviously, the thing is, you'll have separate keys for the fuel cap, which is a little bit of a bugger. You can, if you want, just to strip it apart and change the lock in it. You could do that. I stripped the other one apart, didn't I? So it looks the same, but this one's modified. This one's modified. Look at this here. I drilled a hole in there to eliminate the vapor lock, if you remember. And this fuel cap I've got here, it's probably from China or something like that, I don't know. This fuel cap has that modification on it. Isn't that strange? So this here, this should not get vapor locked. Then I'll put it on the bike. I'll try it. I'm going to try it with the original cap on the bike. Then I'm going to try it with this. See what happens. So that's really interesting. That's very interesting, isn't it? I bet there's quite a few people who have problems with vapor lock and don't realise it with their VTRs, but drilling a hole in your existing fuel cap there, probably 1 mm or small if you can, doesn't matter, will cure the problem. It's cured it on mine, absolutely, and unblocking all that crap in there. So this is the later cap. It was £35 including deliveries in the UK. You probably can find these on eBay, but this motorcycle products.co.uk, they got this to me in record time. I did not expect this to arrive so quickly, but we'll give it a try. We'll get on the bike and see what it can do. I can tell it feels brilliant. you know, it does want the exhaust. It does want the exhaust ripping off and putting some bloody open race cans on it, because at the minute it sounds like some Honda Goldwing or something like that. Forgive me if you got Honda Goldwing and you love them, but they're not really muscle bikes, are they? I just broke off for a second there. It actually does bloody steer. Right, first thing. I've heard from a lot of people that VTRs don't handle, they don't corner. I've not pushed it beyond its capabilities yet, and I don't intend to. But I've just done a couple of little corners there, and I instantly get a feeling that I don't get from some of the other bikes. Well, we're picking up speed without any hesitations. I Tell you what, this damn thing gets over. It does. It gets over quite easily. Bloody hell, I'm only giving it like quarter throttle. It's very smooth. It handles the corners well. Very, very smooth on the road. I like it. It just wants them exhaust ripping off, doesn't it? It's a proper thumper, is this. Top end of the revs feels fantastic. I just wish it weren't so windy outside. I don't know what the quality of audio is going to be on this. So I'm going to give it a little run round here. It's nice, it's really nice. It's like I want to take it out for a ride and go get some fish and chips or something. I'd go to the coast on this bike. It's almost too comfortable. So it has been an absolute incredible journey getting this VTR back on the road. The amount of work that's gone into this one bike is practically almost a 50% restoration of the whole bike. There's things I've not gone into yet, but I'm only going to cover problems as they arise. I really do hope that everything I've covered with this bike gives you the opportunity to enjoy yours also. Watch the videos, watch the series, try all these techniques and tips on your VTR and enjoy it. Hopefully these will ease your suffering if you have any of these problems with the coils, the fuel cap especially. I think is a big one. I did never expect a bike to have every single problem you could possibly imagine in one, especially when it's done 11,000 miles and in this condition. It's absolutely incredible. It's a shame that someone's let this bike go to such a state, but you know, it's given me a lot of education, and hopefully the purpose of this bike being the way it is has given you guys and girls lots of information you need to solve your problems and enjoy your VTRs. So thank you for watching, thank you for your time, and keep them VTRs healthy.